1 Hallmark Inn motel is coming down.
And we've been dealing with windy conditions throughout the day, and it is going to stay that way. We'll have the latest coming up.
And Georgia's Senate runoff election is next Tuesday. How both parties are pulling out all the stops.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Demolition is underway at the Sunrise Inn on South Range Line in Joplin. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, the former Hallmark Inn motel and attached Beefmaster's restaurant is coming down. Demolition started earlier this week at the 3600 South Range Line location and is expected to last another couple of weeks. The building had many names over the years, most recently known as the Sunrise Inn. It's unknown when the motel closed, but for the past couple of years, the inn had become a victim of vandalism. The 3-acre property is listed for sale with an asking price of $1.96 million. The attached restaurant, Beefmaster's, was most popular through the 1970s and 80s. Authorities released the name of the woman killed in a Thanksgiving Day fire in Commerce, Oklahoma. According to the Commerce PD, 84-year-old Leanna Mustaine died last Thursday in her home on Maple Street. Mustaine lived in the Commerce and Wyandotte area her entire life and taught chemistry and biology for the Commerce School District for 27 years. State Fire Marshal says they do not suspect any criminal or foul play. Investigators call a double shooting death investigation in Southwest Missouri a case of murder-suicide. The deaths were discovered in Lawrence County, west of Miller, Missouri, Monday afternoon. Officers went to the home after receiving a call that a person had not been heard from since before Thanksgiving. Inside, they found the body of 55-year-old Caleb Kingsley of Miller. Investigators say he was shot in the head while asleep in bed. They also found the body of 43-year-old Linda Kennedy of Chautauqua, Kansas. The sheriff's office says she died of a self-inflicted gunshot. Well, if you step outside, hold on to your hat. Chris Warner joins us with a first look at your windy forecast.
Yeah, you've definitely got to be cautious out there. Those winds gusting upwards 40, 50 miles an hour since, through the morning and now into the afternoon hours as well. So east-west highways like I-44, 54, 400, 160, just to name a few, are going to be very susceptible to these winds out of the south. We're cloudy, and you can see that here on our camera at 7th and Range Line. And we'll remain that way for a while. Now, our normal high is 52, our normal low is 32, and we were above those. It will be above those as we go through the day, and you can see the cloud cover on the Skywatch Storm Tracker just kind of all over the place. And then all of our counties in our viewing area, it's a wind advisory until 6 o'clock tonight. Temperatures across the area, the clouds acting kind of like a blanket, keeping us a little warmer. We have 50, 48 Center, 55 Chanute, 53 Pittsburgh, 55 Lamar, Carthage, Neosho, and Miami. We're also sitting at 55 in Joplin with that cloudy view out there. And the wind south-southwest at 26, that's the sustained wind. Gusts in Joplin upwards of 44 miles an hour. We won't do too much more warming, and we could see a stray shower late tonight. Most of us will stay dry, but the winds are going to continue through tonight as well. And the one good thing is we have been receiving some precipitation over the last couple of weeks. We've seen a new update to the drought tracker. Now out here, not a lot of change for folks in southeast Kansas, but the extreme drought has been backed up significantly. And in fact, some of us are starting to get out of the drought situation, and we've got more rain on the way. We're hopeful that this situation will continue to improve. We're going to break down your full forecast here in just a couple of minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Georgia's Senate runoff will be decided next Tuesday, though many have already made their choice. Georgia election officials say more than 1 million voters have cast their ballots, outpacing turnout from runoffs in 2016 and 2018. Still, both parties are bringing out big names with that big final push. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has the latest on the race.
Democrats are pulling out all the stops in Georgia to get their supporters to cast their votes now.
We have to run through the tape. And that means all of us doing our part to make sure that Raphael Warnock goes back to being the United States Senator from the great state of Georgia.
On Thursday, former President Barack Obama campaigned alongside Senator Raphael Warnock.
Are y'all ready to get this done?
His re-election to the Senate is now the party's only chance to take a true majority.
51 is better than 50 because it means Reverend Warnock will keep representing you in Washington.
I'm going to remove the government out of your life so you can flourish.
Republicans know what's at stake too, and it's a reason why many say they're backing challenger Herschel Walker.
We don't want the Democrats to have control of the Senate.
Walker held a rally yesterday with South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham. In-person early voting closes today for the runoff, and more than 1.4 million Georgians have already cast their ballots. Those votes are thought to favor Democrats because Walker has not pushed his supporters to vote early.
I want to make sure I'm going to get my vote in, and I think it's going to be raining Tuesday, or Election Day, the 6th. So we'll make sure we get it done today.
Some in the Republican Party, including former President Trump, have cast doubts about early voting and mail-in ballots. The outcome of the race could depend on whether Walker voters turn out in person on Tuesday. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
On Election Day in November, Walker had a 200,000 vote advantage over Warnock, but in early voting, Warnock led by more than 250,000. Well, a group of Missouri Southern students are helping make Christmas a little brighter for four-state kids. The university's accounting club has partnered with KOAM's Toy Box year after year to help children in our area have a brighter Christmas morning. They collect toys on campus donated from MSSU's students and staff.
I think it's important for them to know that not everybody has the same opportunities that they have had, that maybe they're more blessed than some other kids, and that they can actually make a difference in somebody else's life.
You can contribute a toy or a monetary donation to the Toy Box project. Just go to our website at koamnewsnow.com/toybox. Well, our Toy Box telethon on Tuesday was definitely a success, but it isn't the only chance for you to donate. KOAM is always looking to brighten the holiday for kids in the four states, and if you're out shopping this weekend, we invite you to pick up a new toy for our Toy Box project, benefiting area kids in need. And this QR code will direct you to drop-off locations. It also makes it easy to give a financial donation if you'd prefer, and you can find the links on our website and the KOAM News app. Our next Toy Box Tuesday telethon is next week during our noon, 5, and 6 p.m. newscast. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, America's green initiatives are on show as the Prince and Princess of Wales tour Boston. And later, we're making a good old tuna noodle casserole in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Tonight in Boston, Prince William will award this year's Earthshot Prize, created to encourage those trying to fight climate change and protect the environment. The Prince and Princess of Wales visited a climate change incubator outside of Boston yesterday. CBS's Ben Tracy is there.
When the fast fashion brand Zara debuted this little black dress this past summer, it was a pretty big deal. The first party dress made from pollution.
We convert pollution into the products you use every day.
So from trash to treasures.
Yeah.
Jennifer Holmgren is CEO of LanzaTech. It turns planet-warming carbon pollution into everything from those party dresses to plastic bottles, Lululemon gym shorts, household cleaning products, and even jet fuel that powered a recent Virgin Atlantic flight from Orlando to London.
We've done it at commercial scale, and there are real products out there, so it's real. It's not science fiction. We've made it work.
The company currently has 3 facilities attached to steel plants in China that capture carbon emissions before they're released in the atmosphere and converts them into ethanol, the building blocks of countless products.
So that carbon pollution would come into the reactors that you see there.
She showed us how it works at their demonstration lab in Chicago. These monitors we're wearing detect carbon monoxide leaks.
It kind of looks like some sort of margarita in a blender back there. But those are microbes eating carbon dioxide?
That's right. So actually the reason you see all the bubbling is because the carbon dioxide is being bubbled through the reactor.
The technology can also be used to make products from the carbon found in landfills, which could make the things we now throw away infinitely recyclable.
We believe in a future where there is no such thing as pollution or waste. That is always going to be your next raw material.
She says she's grateful to the Royals that they're using their platform to give people hope about combating climate change. Ben Tracy, CBS News, Boston.
Still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Today's casserole is one you either love or you might not be a big fan of. But with our creamy twist, we might just win you over.
But first, it's windy and it's going to stay that way for a little while. We'll break down your full forecast coming up. Well, it's certainly been windy today, and it will continue to be windy as we head into the evening and even the overnight hours. In fact, that's why we have an alert day for today, because we are going to continue to see those winds gusting upwards of 40 to 50 miles an hour. And we're talking sustained winds out of the south at 20 to 30 miles an hour. In fact, the latest gust from the Joplin Regional Airport was reported at 44 miles an hour. So we're talking some hefty winds out there. Looking at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, you can see where we've got cloud cover across the region, and that's just the way it's going to be. And then for all of us, we have this wind advisory that runs until 6 o'clock tonight. You can see the cloud cover on the MoDOT camera at I-44 and Rangeline. And I want to remind you, east-west running highways like I-44 or 54, 400, 160, that's just a few of them. That's where you're going to have the biggest problems with this wind as it comes out of the south. And the problem will continue into the overnight because the wind will shift out of the north after our cold front pushes through. By 3 o'clock, still wide swath of wind gusts pushing 50 miles an hour. As we head into the evening, this is 6 o'clock. We're back down if you can say that, to 35 to 45 mile an hour wind gusts. And as we head later into the evening, as the front approaches, we get a little reprieve. We're now in the 30 to 35 mile an hour range, but look at the wind gusts right behind this front as it starts to roll on through. Those winds shift out of the north. We're still holding on to wind gusts pushing 25, 30 miles an hour into the overnight. So make sure your trash can is secure and do not turn on your Christmas inflatables tonight. 56 in Joplin, wind to south-southwest at 22. And again, the last reported wind gust at the airport was 44 miles an hour out there. So it is a breezy. Makes it feel pretty chilly too. Look at the temperatures too. Like this morning, remember we had about 98% of us at 50 degrees. Now we're all at about 55 degrees across the region. We've got 53 Pittsburgh, Fort Scott, 51 Iola, 54 Yates Center, and 54 down in Grove and Anderson. As we go through the rest of the day, we're still looking to hit a high right around 58 degrees for Joplin. Some of our friends in southeast Kansas may actually make it into the lower 60s today. We're going to remain mostly cloudy. We're going to remain breezy, and that's how it's going to be as we head into the overnight. Once the cold front gets through, a little later this evening, say right around 9, 10 o'clock, our temperatures will begin to drop, and they will do so rapidly down to 30 degrees for our overnight low. Taking a look at the future track. So as we head through this evening, there is the chance of a stray shower or two across the area. I think most of us are going to remain dry. Our better rain chances are going to come as we head into next week. We go into Saturday, you saw by 4 o'clock, we don't really warm up a lot. And then we get into Sunday, and that's when we start to see the start of some additional rain chances across the area, but we also start to see the opportunity to warm up just a little bit as well. So let's take a look at that 7-day. Only 40 tomorrow, but we're looking at partly cloudy skies, so at least we'll see some sunshine. Rain Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, a possibility each day, but a slow warming trend. A little cooler on Wednesday. Rain chances return by Thursday, so we're looking at the 60s though, so well above average as we head into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with those rain chances, but then this system drops our temperatures again. We only make it to about 39 on Sunday, and by Sunday, we're looking at the possibility of a wintry mix across the area. So this roller coaster, we've been talking about it the last 2 or 3 days, and it just continues. We are up and down and up and down, and really at no point are we close to average on this forecast for highs or for lows.
Okay, well.
We just can't find that happy medium still.
So what's the average right now?
Our average is right around 53. So, I mean, we're close on Monday.
Yeah.
That is the closest we're going to come in terms of our average high. But the lows, the closest we come is about Saturday night. Outside of that, we're either above or below.
At least it's in the 30s and above at night. I'm liking the end of next week's, those lows in the 50s. That's
yeah, with the cloud cover and the rain, we don't really bottom out that much. But once that system pushes us down, it gets cold, and then you see that wintry mix on there.
We'll take it. All right, thanks, Chris. We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Sergeant Wesley Stinger in the U.S. Army. The soldier from Riverton, Kansas, joined the Battery A 914th Field Artillery Battalion, 89th Division in 1942. He fought in France, Germany, Belgium, Austria, and throughout Europe, earning 2 overseas bars, 2 Bronze Stars, and the World War II Victory Ribbon. To Sergeant Wesley Stinger, we thank you, our four-state hero. Well, today we're making a comforting classic that first became popular in the 1950s. Howard shows us how to make his good old tuna noodle casserole in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
When it comes to tuna noodle casserole, you either love it or you don't. Since I grew up on it, I think of it as a comfort food, right alongside meatloaf, pot roast, and spaghetti. When it first became popular in the 1950s, it was known as the dish that anyone with a can opener could make. Today, however, there are many variations that turn this basic casserole into something really special, like the easy one we're making today. We start by cooking some egg noodles according to the package instructions and draining them really well. Meanwhile, we combine some mushroom soup with some milk. Once that's mixed, we add some canned tuna, frozen peas, and a little salt and pepper. Then we add our noodles and give it a good stir. For extra richness, we add in some Swiss cheese and melted butter. Just before we pop it in the oven, we top it with some crispy, crunchy fried onions. Once it's bubbling hot, get ready to experience lots of comforting goodness. If you're still on the fence about whether you should make this or not, I say you give it a try. This version may just win you over. To get the recipe for our good old tuna noodle casserole, check out our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a cozy retro way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Might be one my kids would actually eat. You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com.
That's where it sounded like it was coming from.
Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
We are looking at our high of 58 today. Winds will be gusty through the night and then colder tomorrow, 40. Rain chances Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then they return Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We get warm, and then we see a wintry mix and much colder weather by next Sunday.
I guess gusty is the word, but boy, it is a force out there right now.
It blow you off the road force.
Yeah, try to open and close your car door in this wind. It's a struggle.
All right. What do we have coming up tonight at 5?
Well, at 5, we're going to check out a new computer simulation program that teaches teen drivers with ADHD to keep their eyes on the road, how it's lowering the risk for teens who use it by 40%. Plus, the annual Newton County Food Basket Brigade launches today as volunteers get ready to prepare Christmas baskets. And Carl Junction Police Department receives funding for trauma medical kits. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
All right, thank you, Dow. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at Noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.